Hey, y'all, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mouthful. Before we go any further, make sure that you guys check out our website at mouthful-tv.com. Make sure you subscribe to our mailing list so that way you can keep up to date on everything that's going on with Mouthful TV. Also, make sure you check out our YouTube, which I'm assuming you're doing that right now because you're seeing this. But if you haven't, subscribe. Make sure you drop some comments based on the conversation if you want to tune in and join in on that conversation as well. And also make sure you follow us to our IG right after this for the after party so you can join the conversation as well. If you want to join in and talk to us, add your camera, whatever the case may be, you can do that too. And also check out our Small Business Tuesdays on Instagram, mouthful_TV, where if you have a small business brand, you're an entrepreneur, whatever the case might be, make sure that you tune in on Tuesdays on our Instagram so that you can promote your business or brand. And so let's go ahead and get this thing started, y'all. I missed last week. I think I missed the week before. I missed y'all.
We missed you too.
Just a little
No,
bit.
you already know.
A little bit.
Okay, I gave y'all a
Hey, Biz, I got you, bro.
I miss
I
Cherie.
appreciate
I
it.
miss Cherie.
Oh, thank you. I missed y'all too.
Right.
More
My
than
birthday.
this.
We're so glad to see you back. And speaking of Cherie, we're gonna get into this fashion segment. Miss Cherie, Sive Baswana, Miss Shantae, okay? Tell us who you got this week.
Hey, Des. Hi, this is Cherie. First of all, welcome to our fashion segment here on Mouthful TV. I am Cherie Tyler, hashtag Style by Shantae, which is my styling name and brand. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a salon owner. I love all things beautiful. I love all fashion. Anyway, let's get into this fashion segment. So today we have a fashion designer from South Africa. Really cool guy. His line is awesome. I don't want to chop up his name, but it's Sive, and he is from Cape Town, South Africa. We have a short clip of him breaking down his brand. So let's get right into it.
Good evening. My name is Sive Baswana, and I'm the founder of Our Quality Clothing. This brand was founded on 2019, 25th of March. I started this brand to sustain myself on a daily basis and also to sustain my family as well. And also creating jobs for other people in our community as well, since the employment rate in South Africa is high. To find our latest fashion segment on multiple TV shows, thank you so much for listening. Awi.
Awesome. So that was Sive basically breaking down his brand, telling us where he's from. We also have a clip of my favorite outfit by him. Let's go ahead and put that on.
Oh,
This-
adore.
You like that, Star?
I do.
What's your favorite thing about it?
You know, the athletic wear nowadays is really coming back into play, like that casual and leisure apparel. And they're really giving it, like it's still fashionable, still looks great. What about you?
I love that too. I love the fact how he paired her look with it's kind of edgy because she put the hiking boots with it,
Yeah.
kind of like Timberland type look. So it's edgy, fun, but comfortable too. Because a lot of times, I don't know about you, as a female, when we go out, we want to be comfortable, but yet we want to be fly.
Exactly.
So he's definitely bringing that to us.
Yeah, and I love how he put together his look with it gives a 90s nostalgia vest. But
Yes.
then with the polo shirt, the long sleeve, you don't see that, but I like what he did there. So it gives his own little flavor.
I like that too. Even his glasses and his hat, he looks really fly. He looks, like I said, really comfortable, but fly at the same time. You can't beat that.
Definitely. Now I know you give us little tips. So with her outfit, if we wanted to jazz it up a little bit, what would you suggest?
I would jazz it up with maybe a jacket, a zip up, something. You could even do a white collared shirt, something crisp, if you want to kind of dress it up a little bit. You could accessorize it. You know, it looks like she has on almost similar to like a dog tag type look with her neck. Hoop earrings are my go-to for everything. I feel like you can always put a hoop earring on with that. Yeah, it looks really comfortable and soft. So you can dress it up or down. Both outfits.
Yeah, I agree. She giving around the way girl vibes.
Oh, cool, Jay. Yes.
Yes. Well, I love it. And then did he tell us where we could find him as far as his Instagram or any social media?
Yes, I'm gonna recap. Again, his name is Sive. He was born in 1997. He's from Western Cape Town. He has many accomplishments. He's the founder of Awi clothing line. He graduated from Bandwidth and YIB Youth in Business program. You can find Sive at Awi, which is AWE Originals, ORIGINALS RSA.
All right.
Yes.
Love to see it. Well, thank you again for this segment, and tell the people where we can find you, Miss Style by Shantae.
Hey y'all, you can find me on my IG at Style by Shantae C.
All right. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. So don't forget, we want to give Cherie Shantae her accolades in the fashion department, giving us the latest do's and sometimes don'ts of the fashion industry and what's hot, what's not. So we appreciate you for being on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for the fashion segment. Thank y'all. Bye.
All right, y'all. So we're going to head back into this topic that the cast has been debating about, trying to figure out who's right, who's wrong. We still don't know, even if there is a right or wrong. And I was trying to think of a creative name to give it, but I don't know. So listen, doing wifely duties and you ain't a wife. Okay. But before we get into it, let's show this quick snippet of where this whole debate came from.
Yes, let's do that.
Don't hurt me, because I know y'all like to tussle, especially when I back up men. But there's this one expression that just sits underneath my skin. Don't do wife duties at girlfriend prices. No one told you to do his laundry on a day-to-day basis. No one told you to clean his house on a day-to-day basis. No one told you to do the grocery shopping. No one told you to do none of that. No one told you to operate his business, none of that. But y'all run into cohabitation and then expect not to do anything in return? Y'all know cohabitation often kills a man's motivation to marry, right? Doesn't he have to show you that he's worthy of being your husband? Don't get me wrong. Yes, he should allow you to rest in your femininity. Yes, he should continue to pursue you. Yes, he should be consistent. Yes, he should still display wise leadership skills. But aren't those husband duties at boyfriend prices? You have to offer something. You have to show something. You have to offer love that's not limited to sex and simple dates and just an ear to listen. And I hear this often coming from single mothers. But you want him to stand in place of that biological father that's absent. And you want him to create stability and structure within a household and care for the kids. But isn't that a husband duty? So if we're going to use the sentiment of not doing wife duties at girlfriend prices, then we're going to use the sentiment of not doing husband duties at boyfriend prices. But women, you're not going to like that. Paying bills is a husband duty. Protecting you is a husband duty. Accepting your faults is a husband duty. Men don't have to be the head of their household and your household. No, in sickness and in health. If you get sick, ladies, that's on you. You don't want to do anything that's considered a wife duty, but you want him to do everything that's considered a husband duty at boyfriend prices. Y'all know men have options. You do know there's a process of elimination when it comes to finding a wife, right? Just like you want to be able to see the qualities that he possessed to be able to become your husband, he needs to see the qualities that you possess as a woman to be able to say that this woman can be my wife. Because I guarantee you, when he tell his homies, man, she won't do this, she won't do this, they gonna tell him, don't marry her. She gonna be a headache. And I know, because the homies always tell the men that, because I'm a homie. And I can tell you, I'll tell a man in a heartbeat. if she want to at least offer that and show you that she can do this, but she can show you that she can party and go buy McDummies all the dang on time and shop until she drop, but she can't do anything to hold a household together to nurture and take care of the kids and you when needed. And I'm not saying invest all of y'all selves and become this housemaid and like that. I'm not saying it. Just understand that men do pay attention to that before they decide to initiate marriage and engagement with you.
Woo,
All
she
right.
had a word, a couple words, a lot of words.
Well, I'm gonna take the back seat, so I'm gonna let y'all go.
Well, I just want to say this. I feel like she made some good points, but then at the end, it sounded like she was contradicting everything that she was saying, or was it just me?
I was indifferent about some things, so it probably isn't just you.
Because basically, you're telling me not to do the duties of a husband, but in order for you to know that I'm husband material, I have to do them. So, do I do them or do I not do them?
Right.
I was thinking that too. I think from where when I watched the video, some of the points she was saying, I was like, yeah, you're right. But then, like Desmond said, okay, now how do I know that he's husband material? How do you know I'm wife material if you're not showing those, before marriage? But I wanted to ask Star because Star is married. So I wanted to ask Star, what was your opinion about it? Because even though you want to be back seat, you front seat. Because
I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait.
You the driver.
No, I'm not driving. Listen, I feel like it comes with balance because we cohabitated before getting married because you have to set the tone and the precedent of what you will allow for your household to be ran. And so that's something as a woman and somebody that, takes pride in their house that I wanted to do. So I didn't look at it as, oh, I'm doing, wifey duties and I'm not a wife, because it's that whole saying, what is it? Why buy the cow when you could get the milk for free? No, it was still that understanding that no, we're not doing this just because it's cute or to save on bills or anything like that. Like we're trying to build, So you really have to make that clear in your expectations, and everybody falls short, right? Because that's a part of the process. You're learning each other. Right. And even as a wife, I'm still picking up clothes. I'm still wondering, like, what did you cook? It's a pot of rice and it looks like World War III in the kitchen. Like, what is going on? But you do have to set the tone of what you expect. So
I agree, but I do sometimes think that some women do expect a lot from a man, especially like paying their bills and holding down their household on top of theirs. Me, I never expect the man to pay for anything. Yeah, I always say, please don't give me nothing. Please don't feel like you have to take me to this bougie restaurant. Don't feel like you got to pay my bills and yours, because you're not my husband. So I don't expect that, and I think that's where I got from the video. That's the only thing I kind of got from it, other than when she was saying the moms and stuff like that. But I do think I've heard a couple females expect a little too much from the guy just being that boyfriend. I will say that.
And I was just about to ask, Fred, what are some things that you have seen in dating, right? Or, talking to females or whatever the case may be, that you think they're wanting too much?
You know what?
Just one. I'm pretty sure it's several. Just pick one.
I bet you are glad.
I'm so glad. First, I'll put it like this, because it's not just the women. So I'm not gonna just put it on women, because I can say us as men, we ask for her to submit, but we're afraid to commit. You feel me?
So, come on, Deacon.
So that's right off real, because I'll get to that in a minute. But to answer your question, from what I've dealt with in my past is a woman that I was pursuing. In order for me to pursue her, I had to pay this and I had to pay that. Baby girl, if I can't, it's certain things that I feel that women that I see a lot too in social media too. Because social media really, they normalize the fact that in order to get my love, you have to pay your way. It's kind of like that. It kind of makes it seem like I'm gonna put the reason being because like if you can't pay my bills, that means you can't take care of me. That does not mean that, because I know plenty of fellas that got money to spend, but they not finna marry you. They're not finna make you a wife. Only reason why they pay that is because they could tap that. You feel me? And I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest. I know.
No, I mean, I believe you though. I believe you.
But I mean,
Right.
like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. A man is supposed to show leadership. He's supposed to be able to teach her as well as her teach him. You have to learn new things from each other. But
Absolutely.
you cannot get into a relationship. You cannot expect that person to do this, take care of you financially right off rip. Because y'all hadn't even gotten to the point. If I don't know you, how do you expect me to? Okay, you want me to take care of you? And I don't know you.
And so I'm curious to know what's the difference between a boyfriend duty and a husband duty outside of the financial aspect. What is the difference between a boyfriend duty? And we're not talking about dating.
Right.
Like we're just getting to know each other. Like once it's established and it becomes now a serious relationship, what is the difference between a boyfriend duty and a husband duty?
I'm glad you asked that, Des, because
Well-
she lost me when she started talking about, I'm sorry, Fred, but to go to Des's point, when she started talking about protecting you as a husband duty, like what? You my dude.
We
You
out
might
in the
not be
street.
my husband, but you
then
not
you ain't
gonna
gonna-
protect me.
Now
Nah.
that I have to say, because I guess that, like, honestly, to me, if I see a brother disrespecting another woman and like causing harm to that woman, like you know what I'm saying, stepping up to one, putting his finger in her face, then I'm gonna step up. Nah, bro, you chill. Now, if it escalates from there, then I know what I'm gonna handle, what I have to handle, and it's not even it's off the muscle of respect. It's like, you know what I'm saying, right off rip. Like as a man, you know your place as a man. You know what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. So you're supposed to take up for a woman when it comes to that aspect. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like no man should just sit by and let another man disrespect another woman. Just right off rip. I guess maybe I'm too old school, but that's how I was raised.
that's facts. But that's what we asking. Like,
I think, and what I guess what I'm trying to, I guess her mention of protection, I guess it could be interpreted in many ways. But for me to feel protected in a relationship, I have to know that there is nothing that you can or will do to harm me physically, mentally, or emotionally. Like I need to know that if something were to happen to me, I know that you're gonna hold it down. Like that's protection to me. And so of course I don't expect you to do that. Well, I guess I could expect you to do that as a partner, because especially if we're in a serious relationship, we're cohabitating. Like if anything were to happen to me, even though we're not married, we haven't signed a piece of paper, I still have that expectation for me.
You know, Des, I think I understand where she was coming from in the video, because I think we go into our relationships without the conversation of our expectations of what we, you know, I guess because like we come off rip just automatically expecting that person to know.
Instead of
in order, if you're gonna be with me, then you already know.
And that's very real, because I'm sorry, America.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say that just getting into a new relationship, we had to have those conversations to say, okay, so what is this? What are we doing? Like, what are we expecting from each other in order to know, like, how we're going to move forward? Because if anything of what you're expecting from me or vice versa, it doesn't match our views of what we want, then we can make the decision mutually to not continue. But don't take that decision away from me, or the ability to make that decision, by not being forthcoming of what you want from me, and same for me to you.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Honestly, that to me, that's what I feel that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to come to a mutual ground on what you are going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate. You get what I'm saying? Like, I guess you have to be balanced. You have to find some type of balance in order, if you're going to move forward. Like, look, if y'all just can't come to terms on this, I'd rather be in the talking stages and we can't come to a mutual ground, other than us being in a relationship. You get what I'm saying? Because of the fact that means that we missed some steps along the way.
Mm-hmm. And it requires more than one conversation. You can't just have that conversation once.
You can't just have one.
Like, it has to be repeated conversation.
But I still want to know, like, so for me, I guess my difference is like when I'm married, I'll probably be a totally different person. Like when I get married, my wedding reception, you probably see a whole different me. But that's me. When I think of it as wife versus girlfriend, when I say I'm gonna be your wife, that means we're coming in to a household and we're sharing everything. If I'm a girlfriend, I don't have to share nothing with you. My money is my money, your money is your money. And if I want to spend it on you, then that's fine. But don't expect me to spend it on you. I think I kind of get that way because like if I'm in a relationship with you, it's your birthday, or if it's something I see you like, I can do that out the kindness of my heart, but I don't have to. And I feel like when we're married, then I feel like, okay, you know, like for instance, let me go back for the bills. If you know if we're married, then you have to talk about the bills. Like you have to figure out a way to pay the bills, or who gonna do this, who gonna do that. But if I'm your girlfriend, I ain't gotta talk about that. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing, how much my bills are, and stuff like that. I think I see the difference that way. But I do also think that we're supposed to display what we want from each other too, like the wise leadership skills. Oh, I'm gonna need you to tell and show me your wise leadership skills. I can't just wait till we get married for you to show me your wise leadership skills. Because what if it's not up to my expectations? You know, so that's what I don't get about it. Then sometimes I do get what she's saying because I think there is a difference, but I don't think she explained it the correct way.
Right. I think it was too much information. I think it was too much information that was put into one video in a short amount of time. I think she had a longer time to explain that video. I guess like if she would have took the time and kind of categorized it, because there's different categories. That's what I got from it. Because when it comes to protecting, that's a whole different category. You know, but like when it comes to protection, that's a whole different category because there's different levels to protection. There's different levels. Because I know for like if you off rip, if we together, if I don't know you, I'm gonna protect you. But I know for damn sure, if you mine, baby girl, you don't worry about nothing. I got you. Move out the way. I got you right
for
here.
You. What's the difference between girlfriend and wife for you?
Well, okay. So first I wanted to say something, America, to your point about like talking about financials, right? It's scary to share financials with somebody else. So you have to have those talks, and it comes a point where you need to figure out or see how that person moves. Because you're talking about when you do get into the part of cohabitation, all your stuff could be fucked off because you know a person isn't good with their money, or you know they're spending it on unnecessary stuff. They don't know how to budget, or maybe they're so good with their money and so frugal. I'm not going to say any names on who's frugal in my relationship, but yes.
What you say last week? We said some last week's story. You say, "Oh, skinfo ain't kinfo." So you got to be careful when you trust with your funds, man. That's real. Because some people try to fuck you over out here.
Well, so true. So yes, the outside and the banking systems and whatnot, but you're right. Some people get into relationships and people just see what you can do and, you know, they want to get you for that. But so I just wanted to speak on that, America, when we talked about financials. But as far as when I became a girlfriend and a wife, you know, submission plays a role. Because I guess I am a bit old fashioned where, you know, wives are supposed to submit to their husbands. But on top of that, men have things that they're supposed to do as well. You know, they are supposed to be the leader, the provider, the protector, or whatnot. I don't think it was just a switch for me that I turned on and off. You know, I think that's hard. And I think that's part of, I guess, the disconnect with her video is that people have made it to where there's like a switch where you could turn it on and off. Like, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a wife, I'm a husband, I'm a boyfriend. Like, wait, no. How do I get to those steps without testing the waters? You know, you have to build. Like, it's called building because you're getting to those steps. So I don't know, like, it's a different mindset you have, but at the same time, a lot of that stuff stays. You just can't walk away, I guess, Merica. Like as a girlfriend, I could, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we did our thing or whatever. But as a marriage, you shouldn't be trying to walk away that easy. Like you got to stick with it.
And that's what I like. That's what I agree with. There are some ups and downs to what she was saying, but I just don't think she said it correctly because it's just like Desmond said, she was.
Well, another thing that she said that wasn't financial or physical was accepting faults is a husband duty. And I
don't understand.
I was like,
we all gotta accept faults. Something.
You know, like how do you grow into compromise and how do you grow into maturing if you're not accepting certain faults that come with people? Because I always say, show me a perfect person and I'll show you a liar. You get what I'm saying? Because nobody is perfect. But I'm just like that. How is that a husband or a wife duty to accept faults? Now, I'm not saying just take shit from anybody, but you know, it comes along with growth and it comes along with growing in your relationship and yourself.
Because accepting faults starts in the boyfriend-girlfriend stage.
Exactly.
Like once I see certain faults in the dating stage, I have again the choice to make to either continue and move forward, or this fault is something that I can't deal with and I just move on, we separate, whatever the case may be. But once I've accepted those faults and we continue to grow, but we've now made the mutual decision to be partners, like I'm only going to continue to discover faults. And so like we have to either at that point, because we're now in a committed relationship, to compromise and say, how can we make this work?
Right.
This is something that you do that I don't particularly like, and vice versa. Now we have to figure out how to maneuver that. And so that's how you continue to grow to become the husband or the wife. You know what I mean? So it's like, I like, there are some points like we've all said that she made that makes sense, but it just, I don't know. The whole last 30 seconds of the video was a contradiction to me. And I was just like, okay.
I think that's why I was saying, like, I think I understood exactly where she was coming from in the video, but I think if she would have kind of, like, that's the type of video that you got to split up into parts. You can't attack it all at once, because once you put everything together, it don't make no sense. And then you have us, we're sitting over here like, okay, I agree with this, then because I think she had more explaining to do.
Right.
That's what I think.
Let me ask y'all this. Is there something that you can think of outside of the financial, because that's a given, that you would expect from a husband that you don't necessarily expect from a boyfriend, or in Fred's case, a wife and / girlfriend?
Mine's probably like a what if. Oh, go ahead, Fred.
First off, before I gotta say this, bro, because a lot of us, I feel a lot of us now, we want to get married just to say, oh, I got a wedding. You gotta understand this shit is work. If you say that I'm gonna get married, that the work don't stop after the wedding. The work just begins after the wedding, because that's a whole different thing. So I think, and no, I'm not married, but my parents have been married for almost 30 years, going on strong. And just sitting down listening to them, like when to uphold a marriage, a lot of things that you see now on social media, a lot of that shit is just for show. And you can't, like, love ain't just for show. That shit is real. So you have to take this shit one step at a time, bro.
Right, which is very true. But my question was, when you go from being a girlfriend or, being a boyfriend to a husband, what is something that you would expect from a wife that you didn't expect from a girlfriend, other than, again, the financial?
I think for me, it's submission. Like what Star said, I'm gonna submit to my boyfriend to a certain extent, but when I make that commitment, like that's when I feel like, okay, the real
submitting in what way, though? I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, when you say submission, what does that look like for you?
Like an example is what you're talking about?
Yeah, what does submission look like for you?
Like submission to me is being secure in my husband that he makes the decisions as a man for his family. Submission is like, I don't have to be that person. I'm trying to explain it. I don't want to say black women, but I don't want to be that black woman to stepping on his toes and like, nah, we're gonna do this way, nah, we're gonna do that way, or like stepping on his toes is in his role of as a man displaying his wise leadership skills. Like, I don't want to step on those toes. I'm a bad girl. Okay, I know you got it, you my husband, I gotta let you do it.
Yep.
Or
because leading
like
styles, America is on it because everybody has
That's
different
facts, yeah.
leading styles.
mhm.
So although women, we might feel like we are the more organized, we're more tactical, we can, have everything planned out. Sometimes you just have to let the man do it. Now, of course, if it doesn't work, we like, okay, well, let's try it this way. But in the back of our mind, we like, I told this nigga. But but it does that leadership role to really let him lead, even though you might think that you have a better, more efficient way to do it. That's real. That is submission.
And I have to be secure enough to do that too. Because as a woman, like me, if I don't feel secure enough to do that, I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna cause an issue, but that means that I still don't see some type of leadership in that department or that area that we having a problem in, that I can just sit back and say, "Ooh, he got it." Because women want that. Women want, believe it or not, women do not want to. Well, I know I don't want to be in control of some things. I really do want my man to just, handle it. Because then that turns me on. Oh, okay, I can, like that. I'm telling every man that we do want to submit to you guys, but we have to feel secure enough to do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fred.
And I think, go ahead, Fred.
Lord.
Oh, can I say something real quick? Just to piggyback off of what Miracle said, I totally agree. But then also I do believe sometimes us men, we can let our egos get so big that we just think we can just handle everything. Sometimes we can sit back and like, you know what, my baby got this. She knows her way is better. You have to be able to. I think once you like, because she's just as strong. She's just as strong. So you have to understand that you have to believe that your wife is just as strong as you, or your counterpart is just as strong as you are. So if your way isn't the best way, you have to let go of your pride or your ego. Like, you know what, baby? Okay, go ahead. I'm listening to you. Because sometimes I know some dudes they won't admit like her way was the best way because of our
like
egos
Star
and our
was saying
pride.
a while ago, like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna let him do it, but my way was
But I think it has to be it has to be, like I said, a balance. Like you have to know where you're strong at, and you have to know where she's strong at as well.
I was about to say, you have to know your partner. You have to know each other's strengths. You have to know each other's weaknesses in order to be able to identify that. And then, of course, there are going to be some situations where you feel like your thought process or your way is better, but the only way for you to show your partner that is for them to do it and let them fail, and then suggest how to do better next time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of like the video and where the disconnect comes from is because we live in a world or a society where a lot of it is, like we said earlier, what can this person do for me? So people are looking to be, what I call kept women, right? Or kept men, like Mary J. Blige's ex-husband. But anyway, sorry, I had to say that. Auntie had to make that song, Rent Money.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. People are looking at, what can you do for me? And there's nothing wrong to want to be in a stable relationship financially, emotionally, mentally, or whatnot. But if that's what's leading you, that's where the debate comes. Is financial stability your lead, or is the emotional connection your lead?
Right. And I was like,
Right.
they definitely need to change that mindset from what can you do for me to who can you be for me? Like, I would much rather want to be with you as the person other than what you can provide or the tangible things that you can give me, because I can't take any of that with me. when I leave here.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if when I go, I know that I was happy and I was cared
Yep.
for and I was loved. And that's most important.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I
That's a
mean,
That's
word,
big.
Des.
that
Yeah, for
is
real.
because
That's real, bro.
I'll be the first to say I have a lot of homeboys, and some of the homeboys like they had come to me for different stuff, and I was just not believing some of the stuff that these girls was doing. Like one of my boys was like, "Hey, yeah, she expect me to get her hair done. She expect me to do this. She expect me to do that." And one of them didn't have the finances to do it, but he was like, "I just don't feel like I should have to do that. I would do it if she was my wife, but as my girlfriend, like I'm not gonna get her hair done every week and pay $300-$400 for it. I'm just not gonna do that." And I was like,
Absolutely
I
not.
said, wait, they ask you to do that? Because I don't ask. I guess I'm different, but I don't ask my man to do all that. If he wants to, that's fine. And most of the time I'll be like, no, and my mama tell me not to do that. But but it's just me, like, because I don't want you to feel like money is going to be how you can't buy me. I need you there emotionally. I want to connect with you. I need to be there spiritually and emotionally, not financially. And I will say that is a problem with women per se, is what my homeboys be saying. Like, we're not about to do that. Y'all expect us to do what y'all can do for us. And when they told me that, I was like, dang, I was surprised, because me and my friends, I don't think they do that. So I'm just.
And it's like people can do nice things or have, a nice gesture. But yes, Miracle, you're right. Where it's like this every 2 weeks, like, no, he's funding my nail money and he's funding this and that. I guess I'm different.
And my car note. And
yeah,
like,
where I come in
note?
at is, what'd you get for him? So I treat my
And what's
dude
crazy is
his
like,
haircuts.
Yeah.
it's the same dynamic in even homosexual relationships. Like there's
I was
so
gonna ask
many,
that.
there's so many dynamics that I've seen as far as like having heteronormative gender roles. Like there's a certain person in a relationship that's more feminine, then there's another person that's more masculine. So they expect the more masculine person to be the provider and be the breadwinner and things of that nature. And I'm just like, that's not me. We both men. We both gonna do what we have to do as men in this relationship to take care of this household at the end of the day. So I don't expect anything more from you that I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how our relationship should be. Like I'm not gonna expect anything from you that I wouldn't do myself.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because so with this whole, I guess I'm going back to the finances just a tad bit, but like people, I guess the men nowadays, they want 50-50. And you come to me and you say 50-50, I'm totally fine with it. But when you say 50-50, we splitting everything down the middle. I mean, cooking, cleaning, you helping with the kids, we splitting all that down the middle. Because you're not going to split the finances 50-50, then give me 100% cooking, cleaning, all that. We're not going to do that. Now, that's my issue with that. Like, I'll cook and clean. I hold down the household. I do that by myself if I need to. But I can do that by myself over here and pay my own bills. Because if you just going to come up in the house every night with your feet kicked up and you paying half the rent, and I'm over here slaving in the kitchen with the kids, that's a problem. Because I feel like
that's where I think that old girl in the video was coming from with the wifely duties.
Yes,
that right there.
Very good point.
That's for men, fellas. I need you to listen to me. I'm gonna be real with you, because I see sometimes us as men, we get too comfortable. Never get too comfortable, because what you're not doing, I promise you, there's gonna be somebody who's willing to give her that effort it's the little things. If you see that there's dishes in the sink, wash them dishes, bro.
Baby, let me tell you something.
I also think it requires...
But hold on, Des, real quick. Let me just school him real quick, because that's anybody. Let me tell you something. Betty Wright made a song called Clean Up Woman, okay? Because a woman that's not doing her job, there's another woman out there that will do it for her. So it goes every which way.
Indeed.
But and women get too comfortable.
A reason why I'm just addressing the men, because actually I know some fellas that actually watch this show And I'm telling y'all, I had to help them out on the, because they like, man, I pay the bills, bro. I understand that you pay the bills.
You talking about Dante and them? No, I'm just joking.
No, I'm just saying, like,
that's different though, Fred. Because if he paying all the bills, then I got you. What you need?
But the thing about it is, he ain't
paying all of it. It's different.
He say he pay all the bills. They go ahead. They go 50,
I'm just
50.
saying, if he is, then
even if it's still I believe in common courtesy. That's just the household I grow up in. How I grew up, it's a mutual thing. If I see that if I know that I ain't gotta work that day, babe, chill out. I'll take care of
But
this.
here's the thing. We
That's
cannot expect people to think like us. And I have to have this conversation with myself. Like, I realize that I'm borderline OCD. Everything has to have a place. Everything has to be in a certain position. I don't want to see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything has to be in a specific place. And I can expect somebody else to have that same mindset. Like, I can communicate, hey, can you at least do this for me to make my load easier? But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to move it again whenever you put it up. So it's like, we can't always expect our partner to have the same thought process, the same mindset. We can try to communicate it, but that's not how they naturally think. So even trying to communicate that, probably going to go in one ear and out the other, because that is not on their mind. So we can't always expect, and I say this all the time, you can't expect a person to have the same heart as you at the end of the day.
Right.
But Fred, I get your courtesy. Like, your courtesy, a lot of women would love that. But if you paying rent, light, water, gas, all that, then I got you. If you paying all of it, then I got the cooking and the cleaning, and I'll make sure the food on the table. I got the kids. I mean, of course you can help with the kids, but I'm saying, like, on that note, if you paying everything, then that woman has to do something too. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do everything, because then you'll feel overwhelmed and all of that stuff. But to me, and it's just my perspective, but if you pay, I know a guy who straight up told me, and I was shocked, he paid everything plus the car note, plus the insurance. And I said, oh, you ain't got to come home to nothing on the floor. Let me get your feet. You want your feet kicked up? But the girl, his ex-wife,
because who's going to cook and
doing
clean
that.
if I wasn't here? You paying all the bills by yourself. What was you going to do when I wasn't here? So why do I have to do it now?
I'm just saying, like, to compromise, we compromise, like, that's just my opinion, though. Like, that's your opinion. My opinion, you paying everything. I got you. It's fine.
That was your choice. That was your choice to pay everything. That doesn't mean you about to make Molly made out of me because you can't.
But just make sure. But if he paying the bills, make sure you saving over here. So if he fall off, then you got him. As a woman, I feel like that's on me, that I need to be saving if he paying all the bills. Now that's just compromising to me. I don't know. Sorry, do you?
I get you. I'm just messing with you.
I know, but I'm just saying. But some people really do think that way.
Yeah, some people actually do.
Starlight.
They think like they don't want.
No, I just, there is no right or wrong answer, because it's how you run your household and how those, two people decide. I know for us, and I hate to go back financially, right? But it is something. So for us, we have a shared account. Well, we have a few shared accounts, and then we still have our own accounts. And I don't think that's bad. Like, I don't look at him crazy.
That's not bad at all.
Because I want my own,
that's also a married duty to have shared accounts too.
Right.
Ain't no wrong with that.
Yeah.
I
want that. So that's good.
But that is a form of trust, because you are trusting your partner when they go somewhere and insert that card or spend this money. And you might not talk about what that purchase is, right? Until you go online and look at your account or whatever, and it's like, oh, he got this or she got this or whatever the case is. So
when you're married, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine.
When you're married, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. Yeah, I was trying to say, but forgot.
Hey, I'm gonna say this real quick. When I get there, she gonna look at that list. Oh boy, what you buy? Well, that Adam and Eve store had a sale, and I had to buy a couple of things.
Not the Adam and Eve store, Fred.
Adam and Eve.
I'm not about to play with you, Fred.
There are so many Black-owned businesses out there that sell toys and lubes and things. Let's invest in
you
those, okay?
said
Do
Adam-
not
That's the
go.
one that came to my mind. That's the first one that came to my mind. Leave me alone.
You could have went to Candy's basement. What is her? What is?
And we can go to that one.
Candy's
we can go to
Dungeon.
Candy's basement or dungeon. One of them. We can go there too.
Wait, what did this topic turn into?
Oh, what?
I was just saying
my
support the
bad.
Black-owned companies. That was the
Right.
My bad.
That's all I was saying.
My bad. No, but I honestly I agree with all of y'all, especially from like, from a male standpoint, from me listening to, what I'm saying, two beautiful Black women and a strong young brother on this other end.
I'm still a whole man sitting here.
That's what I'm saying.
Dang,
I'm just playing, Fred. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Nah, man, just like, no, for just listening to y'all. I mean, I think it's like from every aspect, communication needs to happen in order for there to be any understanding when it comes to financial, when it comes to mental. And honestly, I think that's not talked about enough. It's mental stability in a relationship. That's not talked about enough.
So
and I think that plays a big part. Yes, I think that plays a huge part in a relationship, because honestly, if you can't handle me at my worst, then you can't handle me at my best.
Yeah.
And so, well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Star.
No, I was just going to say, I absolutely agree with you that I believe that counseling is a beautiful thing. I have had friends that don't believe in it, and just, because their life is just perfect. There are no flaws. And I've had friends that's like, girl, yeah, we go type of deal. And they might have been opposed to it, but then they love it. But what's bad? And this is a rhetorical question, because I don't understand what's bad to have a buffer, somebody who is objective and that can give you insight to maybe what you don't see, because when you talk to each other, there's so much noise, or you just want to be combative. And even more so, the exercises that they give you to learn what you didn't know or what you think you knew. Learn about your love languages, to do warm check-ins once you are married. So, and as important as it is to have couples counseling, individual counseling is good too, because sometimes you just need to let off what you want to talk about with yourself before your partner. Because like somebody said, how can you be good for somebody if you're not good for yourself?
Good for yourself. And I actually suggest doing individual counseling before gradually getting into the couples counseling. Like, I think there needs to be work done as individuals before we can do the work together. And so I do want to ask y'all this. Like, what would be the difference between, being in a relationship where there's husband and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend? What would be the difference between having an expectation of your partner and feeling entitled to have your partner say or do certain things?
I think an entitlement is based off of what you feel that you deserve. That's me. When I feel entitlement is, I know it's so many. A lot of people have their own opinion about what they feel entitlement is, but I think because like a lot of time when it comes like, oh, I feel like I need this, I want that, but that's all entitlement. That all is entitlement. What you feel that you need, what you feel that you need to, you know what I'm saying, and based upon what it is something that you actually need for your life. Because a lot of times we put our wants before what we actually need. So
I feel like it comes with non-negotiables that hopefully are discussed in the relationship and moving forward. So is it in a sense of entitlement? Probably we could call it that, because if you said I do and we took these vows, then yes, we're on a different playing field. We're on a different level. Like we submitted to God in becoming one in our union or whatnot. So I am entitled to certain things, like my husband is too, But hopefully those are things that we talked about that we know are non-negotiables for each other or expectations. So
and we have to respect each other's non-negotiables too, because a lot of people don't respect it. And when I say respect it, they don't understand why it is a non-negotiable and they don't agree with it. But just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean it's right. And I think a lot of people like, and I talk to my counselor about this all the time. Well, when I was going, because I on a hiatus, but when I was going, like, yeah, my non-negotiable probably came from a trauma of childhood. My non-negotiable could come from a lot of things, but just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean that you should make me feel like I'm being selfish. You know what I mean? So I think it has to be understanding too with the non-negotiables, and I think that's how you move forward to say, okay, if you don't like this, then I have to either compromise with you or we have to come to understanding or I just need to leave. But I think you just have to understand that. Like,
I have a question for Star. And knowing because Star is a married woman, and I have to ask you, how serious do you still take your vows to this day?
how serious do I still take my vows? The
There's a reason. Wait.
I'm about to say,
asking.
Fred, come on with it. If it got to be a one-part question, you can't answer one part and another part. You got to put it all together when you ask shit like that.
There's a reason why I'm asking. There's a reason why I'm asking because I heard from a person. I'm not gonna name the person, but the person said that those vows really don't mean shit.
Well,
so why did you say them? Why did you commit to
a
them?
different type of way. They
Like,
live
but
in a different type
why
of
did
way.
you?
No, I'm saying because a lot of people I think a lot of people now they don't really know how serious those vows are. And I think like those after that day, after you say those vows, that's not just a one day thing. It's not just a one day. That's a life commitment.
Correct.
So you can't just say those vows that day. That's why I asked. That's why I said still, because she's been married for almost 10 years.
Who?
And she's still.
Oh, your friend. Okay. No, I thought you meant me. I was like, who? Okay.
I was like, hold up.
Right. I mean, I take my vows very seriously.
As far like okay, here's when you took those vows, what did that mean to you as you're saying those vows? What do those vows mean to you? As you, what do those vows mean to you?
Okay. One, that this is the man that I plan, God willing, to spend the rest of my days with. That this is who I've gone through the trenches with, that we have had our absolute great days and our downfall, rainy, pitfall, horrible days. But through it all, I feel like God has brought me into his life to do something and vice versa. And this is the person that I want to build with. This is the person that I want to expand my family with. And we did read our vows. I did better than him because he doesn't like to public speak, but it came from a place of love. And my vows were very sacred and serious. And it wasn't just to get the ahs, in the audience or whatnot. Like, this is how I feel. Like, marriage is not to be played with. Nobody gets married to want to get a divorce, right? But It's like, some people are quick to be like, this isn't working out. I tried, like, boom. No, you really got to think, like, you went through all of that. You stood up under God, and said, this is what you're going to do. You don't just end it off like that. It's going to be work. And like you said, the work starts after the wedding. And, honestly, in marriages, sometimes you don't like your partner. You love them, you're in love with them, but sometimes I just don't like you. Like, you get on my damn nerves, or, something. It's those real moments that people have. So,
and I guess that's why I'm like, I always tell people, I am not in a rush. I'm not like trying to get the ring. The wedding I don't care about that. What I care about is that we can compromise with each other, we can understand, and we gonna fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I don't get that from you, and I, then I'm gonna have to bounce.
Right.
But I don't know. I think a lot of people, like Fred was saying, a lot of people just get married just to be getting married, and it is work.
That's the reason why I asked that question.
I've noticed that from what I've experienced with my friends and who I know and what I've grown up in. I just can't walk away. So when I'm married, I'm locked in. Like if I get a divorce, that means you done just did some stuff that, that I just can't.
There is no coming back from.
No coming back from. And I guarantee if I divorce, I will not go back. So that's why I'm not in a rush to get married, because I gotta not only work on myself, but I just want to make sure that other person is for me. Like now I pray about it. Like I'm praying, okay, Lord, I want you to come into this relationship. Like I want your approval of this relationship, because if it's not for me, I don't want to be a divorce. I don't want to get a divorce. I want to fight. I want somebody who's
one. I want a one and done. That is
and and everybody does. So for those that have gone through divorces, like they weren't like, I'm not saying that people are just like they didn't try, because I've seen divorcees on their second or third time around or whatever and got it right to where they really found somebody that was equally yoked with them. So even in a season of something falling apart, God still put something else together that was better. So by no means, am I saying divorcees like this is y'all's fault, y'all suck type of deal. But it's just, it's a funny thing called life, right? It's crazy. So
everything happens for a reason to certain people. Like everybody has their own experience. Everybody has their own mindset and ideas of what they see and want for their relationships.
Yeah.
And so what may work for me, it may not work for Star or Miracle or Fred. And so it's just a matter of making sure, in order for you to be truly happy, that you're communicating how that person can make you happy. I think that's where a lot of people fail in relationships. Yeah. Like they have an idea of expectations, expecting a person to do something or be a certain way. But in all actuality, they're not you. So the only way for them to fulfill those needs is for you to communicate it. Like
that's right.
You're not being satisfied sexually. Say that shit.
Say it.
Like you can't expect them to know your body. Only you know your body. You have to teach them.
And Miracle, when you have your wedding, I know you're not worried about the wedding, right? But you have your dream wedding, because it's a beautiful thing to celebrate love.
I'm gonna have it. And I'm real ratchet too at the reception.
At
the reception, though. Like I said, I'm just gonna turn into a whole different person.
What's your question, Des?
Miracle, you gonna wear that helmet to your wedding?
You know what? I got you, Miracle.
I want to say something.
Star, you had something to say
on TV, so
Star has something to say.
Let's wrap this up so I can get Desmond real quick.
I do, but I just have to tell y'all a funny story real quick, or it's funny to me. When we were talking about financials and expectations or whatever, I thought about this one time. I went on a date and a coworker was like, I got this. It was a male coworker, and he was like more of a father figure in his age type of deal. He was like, I got this great guy. He's a friend of the family. Went on a date, y'all. And it was just like horrible, right? But I tried to give him another chance. So the second time around, I knew like it wasn't good. And it was so bad. I made sure that I paid for everything I got that night, the food, the bowling, everything, because I didn't want not one thing attached to him or for him to be like, but I did this and I did that. And it's like, no, y'all, it was just so bad. Have y'all ever just had to like remove yourself?
Oh, I did, but it was the total opposite. Like the first date was really, really good. Like that was probably one of the best dates I ever went on.
Oh,
he came dressed up. I came dressed up. He opened the door. He came to get me. I didn't have to go and meet. He came to get me. He opened the car. He even listened to great music. I think it was like Andre 3000 or something. And I was like, okay, I didn't have to hear no rapping crap and all that. But that was good. He paid for the meal. He even prayed. Like he was like, give me a hand. I was like, hold up. And then now it's like a total, the next time was total it was weird. Like, I don't know if he got hurt by somebody or something like that, but he wasn't the same person at all. Like
what was the turnaround time from the first date to
well,
the
so
second?
I will say it was like a couple of years later because like we had stopped talking. But I will say that. But like we went on another date. We went on another date, but the date wasn't the same. Like he wasn't the same person.
Okay.
And like,
and that's a lot of time.
I was gonna say
it wasn't that much time, but I'm just saying
2 years
like,
is a long time, especially depending on the
That's a
age.
long time,
Like
man.
2 years is a long time.
right.
maybe it was two. It could have been longer.
Look, I had a relationship that
I guess it's not the same.
like that. I had a relationship like that back then. Dealing with somebody who basically they do stuff for you just to say that they did it for you. I had a relationship like that. So I'm telling you, it was a weight lifted off of me when it ended. Like it was a weight lifted off because like you don't if I do something for you, I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart, not just to say, oh, I did this for you.
Yeah.
That's not how that goes.
You're right. Well, I'll tell y'all who isn't kind right now is Joe Biden. Y'all see what he's up to?
I'm not going back. Not going back.
So for those in our audience that don't know, okay, President Biden pushes for an end to remote work for a second time this week. So basically he's telling Americans that it's time we can return to the workplace in office, that we've got a handle on COVID. So we can not only get back to work, but go into the offices and safely fill our great downtown cities again. Sir, Joey B, listen to me. All right, you're doing too much, son. If COVID has taught us nothing else, it's taught us that we can work from home. We can do our job.
Absolutely.
very
And
well.
it's saving these companies money.
Need
So
to be
why
talking
would we
about.
not? I don't
Right.
understand.
What
Yeah.
you need to be talking about is paying teachers more. That's what you need to be talking about.
Well, that's true. But for now, for those that are corporate America, God bless them too, because they can definitely do their jobs
Be
working
fair.
from home.
If
My
Jasmine
answer
Sullivan had to
is-
cancel her concert because she had COVID, baby, I don't have to go in the office. And that is that on that.
Hey,
Period.
well, all right. But I love Jasmine, so I agree with that.
But yeah, I really think he needs to really sit back and look at what he's saying and think about the American people as a whole, right? Because we will never be the same in life and in society. A pandemic, like I never thought in my years I'd be like, I went through a pandemic. Now I'm like, this is something that's going to be in the history books that we're going to tell our kids. Like it shifted what we are about. Technology is at its plight,
Absolutely.
right? And so why not use it? And look at how many people it's benefited just for mental decompression, for those that might be parents and they've found more leverage of spending time with their kids or how they maneuver with, childcare. Like there's so much that goes into why being given that remote or hybrid work schedule works for a lot of Americans. So I really think he jumped the gun with that. Yes, we're definitely glad to see that COVID is, I don't know,
But
not ceasing, but getting better.
In a
but
pandemic. We are still in a pandemic.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I don't think that it's really necessary at this point how we have transitioned our lives to make everything virtual, everything, being, work from home and having so many options of, getting groceries delivered. And not only that, people took the time in that time that they were quarantined, to really find their passions and, allow themselves to be able to create businesses and create products and create brands that is allowing them to thrive and still hold down the 9 to 5 because they're doing it at home. So I don't understand why he wants to take that away from us. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
If it wasn't for this pandemic, I wouldn't be here with y'all.
Like I know,
and I love y'all.
Like being able to work from home, depending on what you do, like you could have 2 or 3 jobs, you know what I mean, and make money. And also be able to save money because you're sitting at home, you're not paying as much maintenance for your car, you're not buying as much gas that's $56 a gallon. Like, you're not having to put out that money that you would have had to driving back and forth and commuting to work every day. And I'm able to be mentally stable because I hate driving. People cannot drive. And now that we've been in the house so long and people are now driving. No, I'm being so serious.
It's true.
Like, I've seen a big transition of how erratic people drive since before the pandemic. Like, now that we're back outside,
different.
like the road rage stories that I've heard is crazy.
Sad. Yeah.
And I've experienced it firsthand, not firsthand, but my partner had a really bad incident with road rage. Like, somebody sideswiped his car, like pulled up to the light, pulled out the gun and started shooting. Like, it's like, people look crazy. And so leave them inside, Joe. Don't let them come outside.
Right. Let's have that balance. But definitely, so, you know, it's definitely important to keep in the know of what's happening on the political side, even though, you know, we're not claiming to be political gurus, but also with your local elections, people, make sure it is important that we just keep in the know, because society is ever changing. There's a lot of things happening. So you just want to make sure that you're in the know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gonna take us out too. You already know.
That's a cigar here, Fred. Go ahead, Fred.
All right, man. Look, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, hanging out with us for this little big time. Hope y'all enjoy the conversation. Hey, man. Hey, man, look, man, we're gonna wrap this thing on up, man. Please make sure that y'all tune in to the after party. Look us up on Instagram. If y'all not following us on Instagram, I don't know why you not. Go ahead, follow us, man. Mouthful_TV. Make sure y'all tune in with what's that? Small Business Tuesdays, right, Daz? Small Business Tuesdays. Small Business Tuesdays, man. And make sure y'all catch us every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
Why are you so aggressive?
Is it?
Yes.
Is it? Man,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Nah, man, but
thank
we thank
y'all.
y'all for real. We love y'all, man. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.